Hey y'all, so I'm back with my crime journal. If you watched my last video, I was saying how I'm not happy with it. So I've pulled that out today, and I did make a tag that I want to go in the final crime journal, but I'll go over real quick what I'm not happy with, and then we will make this tag together. Okay, so when we open it up, this is what it looks like. I'm not happy with the game board. I'm not happy with these file folders. They're just too thick. It's not going to work for a journal. So I'm going to have to start over, and I'll probably use the box that came with the game instead of the game board. So in the meantime, we are going to make this tag. So let's get started. At the crime scene, the detectives found a love letter that was burned with a wedding photo and wedding flowers. And it's going to go in our evidence envelope. This envelope came from Love Junk Journals on Etsy. It's called Crime Casebook, and there's also a Crime Casebook add-on that you can get. To make this tag, we are going to need a tag. I cut this out using my dies with packaging. This is a piece of scrap paper. It's Tim Holtz scrap paper. And to glue that onto my tag, I'm going to use glue stick. To make the love letter, we're going to need a piece of coffee dyed paper. And for the letter portion of it, I'm using this scripty writing. For our couple mini paper dolls, the Tim Holtz mini paper dolls, I'm going to use Versa Fine Clair Sand Dune, Distress Oxide in ground espresso, brushed corduroy, scorched timber, and old paper. I'm using flowers from the Dollar Tree and a label from Ephemera Pack Halloween 2023 Tim Holtz. Also going to need a sanding disc, an eyelet, and to set the eyelet I'll need my crocodile. We'll also be using the blending brushes, scissors, glue, a ruler, and a knife. And I believe that's it. Okay, so for the first step, I'm going to cover my tag. And I think I'm going to use this bottom portion so that there's a little bit of contrast from the love letter. So let's get that glued. Okay, so let's burnish that. And then we're going to cut around that. So while the tag is drying, we're going to start on our love letter. Coffee dyed paper, we're going to ink this up. You don't need a large portion of the paper. We'll tear that down. So we're just going to stamp that on our coffee dyed paper. All right. Then I'm going to take my ruler and just tear a piece off. Let me get the tag. Probably this much will be good. So I want it torn on all of the sides. Looked like it was torn up, and we're going to just crinkle it up. Then we're going to take the ground espresso and maybe the scorched timber as well, and the sanding disc. So just crinkle the paper up, and while it's crinkled up, we're going to sand just a part of it to make it look like it's been burned. It's really roughed up. Then take your ink and ink it. And then when you open it, it looks like this. So it looks like it's actually been burned. So then we'll just crinkle it again and continue on all the little crinkles. We're gonna ink. So it looks like it was gonna go up in flames and it didn't quite make it. Just fizzled out. Let's do some more down here and get it a little bit darker. I'm using the scorched timber to make it really look burnt. Let's see, let's get some of this. Okay. So here is our burned love letter. And then I think around the edges, I'm going to do the ground espresso. So just ink the edges really good. And there is your love letter. Okay, so we can take our tag and punch a hole. I'm going to use the bigger hole punch. Let's see. Okay, so punch a hole. We can go ahead and put our eyelet in. Okay. So let's get that set. All right. So our love letter is going to go here, and we're going to crinkle it up like this when we glue it down so it looks like that's how they found it. Let's put a little bit more ink right here. If you see any other spots that you want to ink while it's crinkled up, just hit those spots. Okay, then we have our couple. These two are not attached, so I think what I'm going to do is glue them together first, and then we will do the same concept to make them look like they've been burned also, their wedding photo. Let that dry. Then we're going to take our sanding disc and go over them, scuff it up, make it look rough. Like he was trying to destroy their photo. I'm going to go all around the edges. So we're going to sand some more till we have almost a hole. Better. I'm going to poke a hole in it and then sand a little bit more so that we can get her dress to rip. So just pulling a layer off. Okay, so now we can just tear. Sand on him some more. Sorry if I'm shaking the camera. You don't want this to look like a perfect hole, so we're going to peel back more so it looks like it's been burned. Okay, now let's take our ink. I will use ground espresso again. And go over the couple so that they scrunched up. Then I'm going to go back in with the scorched timber. I'm going to actually bend them so that I can get in there really good and it looks really burnt. That looks more like it's been burned. There we go. Okay, there is our burnt photo, and we're going to go around the edges. The scorched timber, you want it to look yucky. The rougher the better in this circumstance. Okay, so there's our beautiful married, maybe they're divorced now, couple. Let's find us a little label. Okay. And I kind of want this to be a little three-dimensional. Looks a little more realistic, right? Let's see where we're going to put our people. I think I'm going to have to put them on the other side just so we can see the burnt pieces. And if they hang off the tag just a little bit, it'll be okay because there's plenty of room in our evidence folder. Then we can take our label and put, I'm going to cut it right past the 6 here. So let's put half of a label here. Let's go ahead and glue our paper down. I'm going to hold it the way that I had placed it down. I'm going to glue it in the high spots. Maybe. So kind of smush it together while you're gluing. Well, let's ink this. So there's our label. I can probably glue. Let's crinkle this up a little bit more. Glue this piece down. Okay. And then our couple. Let's go ahead and glue them down, and then we'll make our flower. Place them about there. They're sticking to my fingers. Might put a little piece, a little foam dot behind her head. Okay. Let's do the flower. I'm using one of the lighter gray flowers, and I'm just gonna pop that center off. And then we're gonna ink it up really good. You want this to also look like it's been burnt, was in the fire as well. Just cut that off. It's like a little plastic piece, so the ink doesn't want to stick to that. Okay, now we can get the white out of the center, and then I'm going to go around the edges with scorched timber. Just really grunge it up, make it look like it's been in the fire. So we could put that there, maybe down a little bit. Warning, he may be dangerous. Kind of like that. Or do I need to put it down here? Let's ink it. I think I like it down here better, but maybe something there as well. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that. Get the flower on. Maybe. I think that's the one. Okay. Let's ink this. All right, so there's the tag. Now let's work on our evidence folder. To make our evidence folder, we are going to use stamps, and I'm going to use red Fine Clair, stays on in black. So we're going to also grunge this up. So I'm going to need my old paper and brushed corduroy in my blending brush. Scrap piece of paper. So I'm going to start with the old paper, and it's lighter, so I'm going to use more of that. So just go in and grunge that up. And I printed this on, it's like a creamy kind of paper. Okay. And I'm going to go in with the brushed corduroy and lightly Maybe this is a unsolved murder cold case. I don't know. Okay. Then we're going to go around the edges with scorched timber. Just want this really grungy. I got to remember it's holding a burnt piece of paper, so we're going to do our stamping before we fold it and all of that. Okay. So let's start with, this is Sample or Creative Expressions, Dates from the Past. And I'm going to use this date here. Let me take this over under it. We're going to start with the date. And I'm going to use my Stays On for that. So I'm going to put that on the date collected line. Okay. And then from Kathy Holden, sign here, I'm going to use 2 signatures, this one and then this number for the case number up here. Oh no, I have this bigger number to go up here. Okay, so we'll start with the big number at the top, the case number. Make sure we don't put it upside down. Okay. And then this little bitty number, we'll put at the bottom. There. And then this is who collected the evidence. And then this person signed for the evidence. Okay, for the description of the contents portion, we're going to use letter, and this is from Tim Holtz, correspondence. So I'm going to do this in black as well, because this is a letter that's going in here. And then we're going to stamp it with red with the received stamp. Okay. Let's see, do we want to put filed, or maybe we could put filed here in red. And this is from Tim Holtz, field notes. We use the red in that. We'll just put it here. Okay. Okay, I think that's good for now. Okay, so we're going to fold the envelope and then grunge up the other side just like we did the front, and go around it with the scorched timber. So I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. Glue it together, grunged up, and we're going to add some coffee stains and splatters. So let's put some splatters on the front. I'm using Vintage Photo for this. Well, that's going to be glued down, so we won't even see that. And then on this side, maybe we'll put a label or something on here, make it look just going to decorate it a little. Okay. Right. Maybe a little bit of cup. And let's do a little bit on here. Up here. Let's see, maybe some right here. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Put some splatters on this up here. I don't know if you'll really see it on the couple, but okay, so they will go in there like that. So maybe a little something here. Let's see if I have a stamp. Maybe red. I like that one better. But it still needs something else. Maybe a label, not in red. We'll go with that. Okay. Okay, I think we'll go with it. Okay. Okay, just a little something. Oh yes, and I have some 7 Plaza's boo-boo tape. Maybe we put a piece on there somewhere. Let's see. Yeah, cut it out a little bit more. There we go. Yes, well, that did it. That looks better. See if we want any over here. Maybe just a smaller piece. Where do we want it? Do not tamper with content. There we go. Okay. All right, I think that looks good. So let's see. Let me clean off my desk and we'll take a look. Okay, so here's the tag that we made. I did add a piece of boo-boo tape here. That is our burnt love letter with our burnt flowers and our burnt photo. And then on the back, you can always put lined paper so that you can write. And then here's our envelope with our little cluster with the boo-boo tape. And then the front. So that's it. We are done for the day. I will be back soon with another video. If you could please like, share, and subscribe, it would be greatly appreciated. I'll see you soon.